Because
Leon beat him.
Yeah.
And then he beat Leon in the rematch.
Right. This is the rematch, right?
And that was the big one. That
Yeah.
we were all glued to the TV. But I remember
Right.
thinking, this is crazy. They're watching boxing because of this guy's position on the Vietnam War.
Have you seen When We Were Kings?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, he was God, you want to talk about a unique human being. Like a one of one,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And, outside of, Mike Tyson, there was never any kind of figure like that in boxing,
No.
Um,
I mean, there was minor...
Sugar Ray Leonard
sort
a
of.
little bit, but not...
Not to that extent,
Not
because
to
he
that
wasn't
extent.
a cultural figure.
Right, right.
Muhammad Ali represented something during the civil rights movement.
And he changed his name to Muhammad Ali.
Right, right.
you know?
That was a big thing, too. People
Yeah.
were terrified of Muslims
Yeah.
at the time. And still.
I was going to say at the time. Yeah.
But it was a different kind of Muslims. That was...
Well, they were the government was really good about portraying every black urban person as like potentially, Muslim Brotherhood, 12 Tribes.
Right.
Those guys, they're still around. The Israelite 12 Tribe.
Oh, those guys. Yeah.
They used to be. They used to hang out. What am I? They used to be in Times Square, like yelling and preaching.
I hung out with those guys one day. I wrote a piece about it for my website because I was going home. It was when I was living in New York, and I was walking down the street, and there's this guy standing there with like a microphone and a little speaker.
Yeah.
And they would read things from the Bible.
Yep.
And they would translate it, and they had this very bizarre translation. Everybody was black. George Washington was black. Everyone was black. They were explaining to me, the so-called Jew, they're Black Israelites.
Yep.
The so-called Jew was the thing that they would always think.
Well, they're Jewish. Yeah, you don't have to say the so-called.
Yeah, it was
part.
very odd.
It was, but their whole thing was there was a 12th tribe of the Israelites that were black that have been, written out of history.
Yeah, that was their thing. Yeah. They also informed me that I'm not white. That was a relief.
Because
I'm Italian. They were like, "Oh, you ain't white." I was like, "Oh, phew."
Oh, it's like
Great. Because they hated white people. So I was just talking to this, because I was bored. I was talking to this guy. I was just having him explain everything to me. And he informed me, "Don't worry, man, you're not white." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's good. It's good to know."
So you can hang out.
I can hang out with you guys. Yeah. You don't hate me. But it was very odd. Very odd. They were all dressed like superheroes. They all these crazy like Avenger costumes on.
Yeah, and like jewelry.
Yeah.
Like big.
Yeah, huge medallions around
jewelry.
their neck.
Yeah.
Very odd stuff.
There's still, you don't see them like you used to, but they're still out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're out there.
But I mean, like literally in New York, periphery of Times Square.
Yeah, last time I was in Philadelphia, I saw them.
Yeah.
They were out there on the street with the microphones,
yelling.
the whole deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an odd group.
When were you in New York?
I was in New York. I moved to New York in 91. Yeah. So I started stand-up in 88 in Boston. And I got picked up by my manager, who I'm still with, when I was essentially an open micer.
Who was that?
Jeff Sussman.
How do I not know Jeff Sussman?
He handles Kevin James.
Was he a Boston guy?
No, he was a New York guy.
Okay.
So the story was he had, what was his name? Fucking the guy who had all the crazy costumes. He was on the Rodney Dangerfield special, Bob Nelson.
Bob Nelson, yeah.
So he handled Bob Nelson.
He was the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, he put the helmet on.
Yeah.
He had boxing gloves. He did Jiffy Jeff's gym. He had brain damage. He did a bunch of different characters.
I remember.
So Bob, who is a big act, he had an HBO special, the whole deal at the time. He found Jesus.
Oh.
And
where was he?
In his basement, I guess, or something.
Okay.
He was around the neighborhood somewhere.
Okay.
But he had this guy who was his prayer partner that was going to take over as his manager. And so this was my manager's big client. So he's like, fuck, like I gotta go find some other comedians.